All right, Otakuans anime question of the week.
Of
Um,
the week.
it's not specifically an anime question though. I think it would be
Okay.
more fair to say it's an otaku question of the week.
Okay. All
So
right.
I don't know how much you really get into social media. I know you don't like social media that much, but
Not that
I don't
much.
know how much you explore X. There's a big thing going on. I don't know if you know about it, but apparently there was a young 16-year-old girl where she got some dandadan characters, the two main characters, the guy and
Mm-hmm.
girl, a
Yeah.
literal screenshot of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can call it blackwashing it, but she
I've seen the
browned.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah. Yeah.
browned up the character, curly
Mm-hmm.
hair, brown
Yeah.
skin,
Yeah.
all
I've
of
seen
that.
it. Yep.
So it sparked the internet. Now, mind you,
Yeah.
there's a two-phase sparking of this
Mm-hmm.
incident. The first phase was when people saw it. Apparently there was a troll account who claimed,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm a Japanese," but they really weren't a Japanese guy. Well, they got a hold to it, put it out to all their troll followers, and
Mm-hmm.
they start sharing it, and it was just a whole war about, "Oh, you're blackwashing
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
You hate it when we whitewash, but when you
Mm-hmm.
blackwash, it's okay." That was the first phase. The
Yeah. Yeah.
second phase, which I think is more known, the
Yeah.
character, the English dub character,
Yeah.
for Okarun, the
Yep.
male character,
Saw that.
he
Yep.
actually put the black version of that character as his PFP on
Yeah.
X. So
Yeah.
it
I
was
saw
like
that.
it was kind of a big thing.
It was a big
So
deal. Yeah. Yeah.
the question isn't how do you feel specifically about that, because
Just in
we can
general.
have a conversation about
Yeah. Yeah.
that situation in which I'm probably more lenient because of her
Yeah.
age. But in general, how do you feel about the whole blackwashing
Yeah. Yeah.
characters? When
Um.
is it okay and when is it not okay?
So I don't know if you remember the conversation we had about I don't know if you remember the conversation we had about BlurredCon.
Hmm.
So that was the first con we went to when we started this podcast. We went to BlurredCon. A lot of y'all know about it who have been here since day one. We talked about BlurredCon, we reviewed it, showed some clips of it. Um, I don't know if you remember what my biggest gripe was about
I
BlurredCon.
remember.
So yeah, my biggest gripe about BlurredCon was not the fact that they had blackwashed characters. It was the fact that they only had blackwashed characters. So I was looking, when you go to a con, as we weebs do, you look for merch. You look for merch. You look for stickers, shirts, hoodies. You look for, I mean, figures. You look for all kinds of stuff, right? You don't just look for, you know, fan created stuff, which we did get. We did. I think that's when we got that dude's manga, his first volume of it, and he
Hmm.
signed it for us and stuff. And we both still have it, right, of his own manga, and we like to support creators like that. But all they had was blackwash stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, like I'm brown. I get it, but I'm not about to rock a black Zenitsu hoodie. Like I'm just not. You know what I'm like? You know what I'm saying?
No, I
I
feel you.
want the original character on my sweater or on my sticker or pin, whatever it is. I think an overabundance of blackwashing is a problem. If a 16-year-old girl decides she just wants to make some of her favorite, which she should not be watching that show, by the way. But
16?
like,
I feel like that's
yeah,
a good age to start watching
give
it.
me your banana. Yeah, eating people's dongs. No thanks. My 16-year-old daughter would not be watching
I
that
feel you. I
anime.
feel you.
Either way, the point is, I think when you overly blackwash a character, so I mean, and we've had me and you on the internet and in our big group chat, we have had debates with people about like them making characters black, right? Like we've talked about Ariel, we've talked about so many different people, but like specifically with anime, um it's a show. Now these people are supposed to be Japanese. We know that. Like these characters are in Japan most of the time. They're supposed to be Japanese.
Hmm.
Um, if you do it just for like shits and giggles, right? Like just to like, haha, like look, you did a little character,
Yeah. Fan art.
swap because people do fan art of like they put like um what is it, forearms from Ben 10 with like the Hulk and they mix together and like make it this cool thing. Like, sure. So if she decided she was just good at drawing, she wanted to just make these characters, I'm all about it. Like, I'm all about it. Go ahead. But it's when we get to like cons and shit where they make like these are adults and like they're making their money off of blackwash characters. Like
Mm,
I'm sorry, but these are not the original characters,
there it
and you're
is.
making your money based off other people's creations, and you're not making them right.
Mm,
And you can get away with not get having them trademarked because you're making them blackwash, because you can't just go out and buy, you have to make distributor connections. You can't just buy a bunch of Zenitsu products. What I mean, you can, but there's a lot of red tape. But like you can't just go out and buy like a shit ton of Zenitsu product or certain trademark things and then just go sell it at bulk
yeah,
on the
Japanese don't play about their
you
trademarks.
can't you
They do
can't
not
do
play.
that. That you can't do that. And even sometimes with Pokemon TCG, you go to these card events, you can't just, you have to have licenses to sell
Hmm.
these things. You can't just go out and
Especially
resell.
Pokemon.
Now you can resell like privately on like
Yeah, I got like
marketplace,
singles
whatever,
and stuff
cool.
like that. But once you're getting
But
like
if
bulk
you're
stuff,
going, yeah, once you're going to a con and your whole, and I'm telling, and you, we talked about this at the con. I saw that whole booth of nothing but Demon Slayer characters. Like I'm gonna get me some Zenitsu shit,
mm,
all black characters. Every single one of they had not. And I asked them, I was like, "Do you have any like of the regular characters?" And they gave me this look like I'm racist. I'm like, first of all, bro. Second of all, like I'm a fan of the original show. Like I'm not. I don't want your. Like they were even selling stickers. Like they had stickers of every single character that it was black. And I'm like, I just want the original shit. But when people, when it's a teenager or a kid or whatever it is, just want to do some fan art, that's cool. But when you start making money and you start posting it like this is how it should be, this is what it's supposed to be like.
mm,
No, it's not. It's in Japan. Like these are Japanese characters. These are samurai, and we've only had one confirmed historical samurai that was black. And there's an anime about it. Go watch it over and over again. It's only 5 episodes. Congratulations. But like that's kind of where I draw the line when it's
yeah,
like an
bro.
overabundance of it.
You honestly you hit every wicket that I had in my head because
Yeah.
fan art. I'm all for fan art. Like when I
Yeah.
was young, I best
Hmm.
believe I drew some black Dragon Ball Z characters. I drew
I
some
put a
black
chair in
guys
bar when
going
I was a kid.
with golden hair. Like
Yeah.
that's the shit like I was on. Like I love
Yeah.
fan art shows the artists that
Yeah.
people care about your product. The
Hmm.
artists want people to do fan art.
Yeah.
Where the problem lies, especially for me, where I feel the problem lies is where you're taking that artist's product and
Hmm.
one tracing. So one of the biggest problems was people felt like she just traced
Yeah.
a image and
Hmm.
then put the curly hair, brown skin on
Yeah.
it. So when people don't take like create something of their own, like you said
Hmm.
at the DreamCon at the BlurCon, they were like making their own thing of it, obviously to get around those trademarking privacy
Hmm.
issues. They were making their own thing of it, so it was kind of like okay. But second, when you're doing it for your own profit. So now you're
Hmm.
stealing their idea,
Yep.
you're stealing their likelihood,
Yep.
and now you're making a profit off of it. That's where I feel like it's a problem. Like if you
Yeah.
again, if you want to create your own fan art, if you want to like give make fan art for your friends and family, maybe even make a little small little $5
Yeah.
commissions because people want to like use it as a PFP. Perfectly okay. But once you're now, this
Yeah.
is what I do, this is who I am, and this is my art.
Hmm.
And then
Like,
number three, just like you said, the whole fixing
yeah.
it. I hate that shit because that tells me you're not doing it out of the love and
No.
appreciation of the art anymore. You're doing it to be a
Because you think
troll.
you're better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing it to be a troll because you think you're better because you think whatever you're going to bring to the table is better than what the
The
original
original.
artist brought to the
Yeah.
table. And that's disgusting. And especially when the ones like, oh, because of this blackwash character, which you may feel like she was perfectly in bounds. I'm
Yeah.
gonna now make a white Black Panther. I hate seeing that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why are you
Yeah.
doing that? Like, it's not
I
gonna make
will
me
agree.
mad, but why are you doing that? You're just trolling, bro. That's too
Like,
much. This is way too
I
much.
will. I will agree that there's certain characters like that have been coming out in the theaters, live action movies, things like that, that I don't agree with. But it doesn't really bother me, especially when I mean, we can have a conversation about why I don't agree with it, but I'm not about to fight somebody on it because it's like whatever. Because I'm
Mm,
not making any money off of it, so why would the fuck would I care? But that's coming from the original, the owners of the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Disney own, for example, we talked about Ariel. Disney owns the Little Mermaid. They
Mm-hmm.
created the fucking Little Mermaid.
And they can
They can
make whatever they
change, they
want.
can do whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm.
But it's if somebody that was another broadcasting studio didn't buy the Little Mermaid and they just made um Burial and not Ariel and made her black, then
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, all right, so you're stealing somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about BlurredCon, like the Zenitsus and the Demon Slayer shit, they would also put them in different like scenes, like places they've never been. It's like they try to create their own shit, stole a character, made him black. Like, bro, if you want a black character so bad, go and make your own fucking character, your own
Mm-hmm.
manga. That's what people were doing. We've seen plenty of booths where people had their own brand new mangas that they created, they invented with the black characters, and I'm all for it. I love community and small creators and small business owners and stuff like that because I'm one myself, but like then go make your own shit. But it's the copy paste, right? They take Zenitsu with his sword, like down like this, like he's about to slash, and they just like boop, black brown hair, put it on a hoodie.
Put some dreadlocks on
Yeah,
them.
dreadlocks on a hoodie and put an earring
Hey,
on
some
him,
some
and
of
I'm
those be
selling this.
fire though. Some of those be fire, but the overabundance, you're
Yeah,
definitely right about that. When it's just like overly done, everything
yeah,
and it has to be this way,
yeah,
and then the fact that people are looking at you like you don't want black Zenitsu.
yeah.
No, bitch,
No,
I want
no, nigga, I
Japanese
don't.
Zenitsu. I don't want white Zenitsu. I want fucking
I
Japanese
want
Zenitsu.
Japanese Zenitsu. I want asleep, scared out of his mind
Hmm.
Zenitsu. Like,
That's
bro,
the
I
character that
don't
I fell in love with. I don't want like
like,
sometimes I like the support. And I'm definitely about
of course.
support and like, hey, I'm rooting for
Yeah,
everybody black. You know me, I'm rooting for everybody black.
yeah,
I'm willing to support you if you're willing to let me
yeah,
support you. But
yeah.
and back to what you said about like the people who like, oh, if you want it, make your own. Okay, we have people who are making their own, but they're not safe either. Have you seen some of these mangas where they're like, oh, I've made my own manga, but it's just a
Hmm.
character from another
That's
show, but I basically made
that's
it into
why
my own
we
character. It's
that's
like,
why we flipped through it. That one that the dude signed that we bought, we flipped through it because
yeah,
we were just like,
hell
let's
yeah, look
see
at
what's
it.
let's see what's in here real
Yeah, I
quick.
look at your characters like, why is
Yeah,
Sasuke brown in
like
Africa?
I'm
What
gonna
is
be
doing?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you remember that dude who was a Marine, that really tall black dude? He had his own book series out, and you
Hmm.
were talking to him for a while. He had his own coin.
Hmm.
That his books with the characters that were black was surprisingly Game of Thrones, 100%.
Copy and paste.
Like,
Like
like
it was just so much
Game of
copy
Thrones.
and paste. I was like, oh, okay,
Like,
that's what's up. That's what's up.
good. Like, bro, if
I
it's
I
let a 16-year-old
support you,
girl,
bro.
and honestly, if the voice actor, one, it's a child doing it, but if the voice actor decides he wants to make that his profile pic, then who fucking cares? He's just like, now, like you said, it gets a little different when people are on both sides of the fence. Where like every character should be black. Okay, well, if you make every character black, then the black characters we're gonna make white. Those are two ignorant ass sides.
Hmm.
Like, one, not every character should be black because that makes absolutely no sense, especially in different time zones, time periods, time like different areas of the world, because not every single person on this planet is black,
Hmm.
unfortunately to them. And then on two,
Unfortunately,
like when most people, I like white girls, all right, leave it out, no. But
let them
and then
stay.
two, on the people that say, well, then we're gonna make Black Panther like white, like if it's coming from its own, because that was the argument with like Ariel. Like, bro, they create Disney and owns that shit.
Mm.
Like, you don't own Black Panther, so what are you talking about? Like,
Um.
those it's two ignorant sides of the same coin, to be honest.
So remember how again the phase one was she created it, trolls found it,
Hmm.
and they made it bigger than what needed to be, and then
Yeah.
two was the actor, him
Hmm.
finding it. I agree, him finding it and using it as his PFP wasn't by itself bad. He did it
Tactics.
when he knew it was
Yeah, it was a
already a
problem.
controversy. He
His
said,
PR manager fucked up.
guys, I'm going to go ahead and use it as my PFP.
Yeah.
But that's not it though. He also people also because people like to go back in your old tweets. People
Hmm.
found old tweets from like
Hmm.
2012, 2010 of him saying something like, "Oh, I don't believe that for any like POC character, no one should voice them unless they're a POC." Because something about you don't know the smell of a barber shop or the sounds of.
He used the
I
Denzel
was like,
Washington quote.
I
Yeah.
was like, what, my nigga, what? And then he had he basically conflicted what he just said by saying that, oh, I feel like anybody, I can be able to play any character.
Hmm.
Wait,
Well,
wait. So you
he
nobody can
used
be
the
a black character,
Denzel.
but you could be a white
So
character.
Denzel Washington was actually once asked on, I don't know if it was, I forgot what movie it was for, but Denzel Washington was asked in a interview why specifically, because he owned, like, I don't like own the movie, I don't know the terms, but like he owned the movie
Mm,
and he cast the director himself because he was funding the movie or something like that, and he was specifically looking for a black director.
mm.
And somebody asked him, well, not the hands up, not being rude. I'm just asking, why were you specifically looking for a black director when other directors who are more notable have been trying to pursue this movie? He said, because the show is about African American struggle and like because it's in the like time in the
Mm,
past. And
mm.
he's like, I wanted a black director who was older and understood what a barbershop smelled like, what a hot comb through your hair smells like, things that they have experienced because they can accurately um, recreate that scene in our movie to make it more realistic.
But
And
with that
so
context, you can now see like, okay, that makes sense. But
exactly, that's what I'm
what
saying. He
he
took
tried
it
to
out
use
of
it
context.
for,
He
that
took it out of
shit don't
context
make
because it's
sense.
like you're talking into a mic in a booth, bro.
Mm.
You're not actually sitting in a barbershop chair with cameras pointed at you with a hot cone. Like
You're not
you're not actually
creating a
in the
scene.
moment.
You're not creating
No,
a moment. You're not
he
creating
took
a
it out of
scene. You're just a
context.
character. And you're
Yeah,
like, oh, well, you have to be black to be this character. That makes absolutely no sense.
and
Now, his
if his
second
that
statement, it kind of makes sense. Like, anybody could be any character. Like,
yeah
let's go back with the whole Little Mermaid thing. Put a black
yeah
girl. Like, it's still going to be Little Mermaid at the end of the day. Like, his second statement makes sense. But now, with that context, I see what he tried to do, but
he
nice
tried, but
try,
it
my
didn't work.
nigga.
Yeah,
Nice
like
try. That's not the same thing.
bro, yeah, it at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going he better not be surprised if his ass gets fucking fired from being in the English VA next
Mm,
season because like Nick, we've seen it in the past few in this past year, like niggas who got platforms would do
mm.
dumb shit and then lose their jobs or lose like their funding or lose a sponsorship and they're like, "Huh?" It's like, "Bro, you decided at the worst possible time to do this." Like I mean, we talked about a streamer who decided to say some shit to get in the middle of some shit who they probably should have just left alone so they could just keep carry on making money and doing what they're supposed to do. Whether
Hmm.
you agree with them or not, it's probably not the best PR thing for you to fucking do right now. Like, cause you're making money, you're putting food on your table. You're an English VA. You probably don't. You can probably make money when you're working, but other than that, it's feast or famine, my nigga. Like, you're making money then, but when you're done, you're not making money. So
Hmm.
like, and you're the English voice actor for a fucking show that just came out. So you're probably brand new. Like I know he's voiced other things, but nothing anything notable. You're not like Bleach, you're not like Ichigo's voice actor, Naruto's voice actor.
They
Like you're
would
not
replace
iconic.
you. They would
Like
definitely
you're
replace you.
not iconic. So it's not like you could just say whatever you want and they'd be like, we can't really replace him. He's been playing Ichigo for 20 fucking 7 years. Like we can't,
Hmm.
like you're not Luffy's like you can't just say shit and think you can get away with it. But the problem is he's young. He got a little bit of cash now because his anime is doing well, the English and the Japanese version.
Hmm.
And he thinks he has a platform he could just speak out. And it's like, bro, whether we agree with you or not, that's just not a smart move. That's just not a smart move for you to do. Like,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I got opinions about everything. We all do. But if I had a fucking big ass platform and I just recently became successful, I'm shutting my fucking mouth. Like, I would probably type under her if I found the thing, I'd be like, oh, this is interesting, and then just move on. Like, oh, this is cool. Like, cool, whatever. Moving on. Like, this is interesting fan art.
As
Dot
soon as
dot
her
dot.
commissions open up again, I'm gonna see if she can do some art for us.
Yeah, some black Zenitsus.
I'm gonna see if she can do some art for. I mean, like, we're gonna New Year do us. We're gonna do a whole revamp, get some new art
Yeah.
done, try to get some new logos. Let's see if when her
Hey,
commissions open
you
back
know,
up. But no,
you
I'm
know,
seriously looking for like a new artist
we can.
to
Yeah,
do our
we
obbies.
can. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it in the back alley. All
I don't want to go to back alley.
right.